Do you ever wonder what fusion fried chicken looked like? Well, in this video, that's what we're going to take a look at. Hey everyone, my name's Louis, and today we're going to be talking about karaage. Now, I love Japanese fried chicken. It's crispy, it's lighter than most fried chickens, and it's full of flavour. It's just an all-round winner, really. I used to have this in my bento box growing up, and I made it loads as a student, as it's really simple to make. Loads of people usually love it when I make it, and it's usually something different that people haven't had before. Most people who've made this have their own recipe, but I want to experiment. What if we made a few fusion versions of it? We still kept the core part of, I guess, karaage. So we have the control, which is still amazing by the way, and two other versions. One is inspired by my time that I spent living in Bangladesh for a couple of years. I miss Bangladesh food so much, and I think it really doesn't get the credit it deserves in terms of how amazing the food there is. And the other is Italian inspired. I don't really have any attachment to Italian cooking, but I just love it so much that I wanted to try and experiment to see how it turned out. Let's get started, shall we? First, you're going to want to grab your chicken thigh and make sure it's boneless and skinless, and cut them up into bite-sized pieces. If you're having them for burgers, then keep them whole, but in this case we're going to slice them up into about 4 or 5 pieces per chicken thigh. Once you've cut up your chicken thigh and they're in a bowl, you're going to want to turn your blender on. Once the blender's on, you're going to want to put the chicken in. I'm just kidding, we're not going to do that. We're going to make the marinades for our chicken in the blender. For the traditional Japanese fried chicken, we have garlic, ginger, onion, soy sauce, mirin, sesame oil, and lemon juice. So for the pesto marinade, we have parmesan, basil, garlic, salt, pepper, and bread crumbs. And for the Bangladeshi inspired fried chicken, we have garlic, ginger, cumin, turmeric, garam masala, fenugreek, yogurt, pomegranate molasses, chili flakes, coriander, and lemon juice. We put our chicken in 3 separate bowls for the marinades.
Once the marinade's in with the fried chicken,
get in there and massage with your hands to make sure that they're nicely incorporated with each other. You know, make sure they've got to know each other a little bit. Make sure they're left for at least an hour. We're going to do them overnight in the fridge, so we're going to just cling film them and just put them in the fridge. Then take them out of the fridge the next day. Get your dredging pan ready, put the corn flour into the dredging pan. A saucepan ready, and make sure the temperature of the oil is about 180 degrees. That's what we're going to be frying at. Once the corn flour's in the pan, you're going to want to grab your chicken, shake off any excess marinade, put the chicken into the corn flour, and just have a light coating of the corn flour. You don't want it to be too much, otherwise it'll become powdery. Grab the chicken and put into the oil. Make sure not to drop it, otherwise oil will splash on you and that really hurts. And make sure to lay away from you as well, just in case the oil splatters. Make sure not to crowd the pan with the chicken, maybe put 4 or 5 pieces in at a time. The chicken should take about 4 or 5 minutes to cook. You'll know when it's done, when it starts floating to the top and has a nice crispy golden look to it. Make sure to put the chicken on a plate with some kitchen towel so any excess oil can just drip off and it keeps the chicken nice and crispy. And then rinse and repeat with the rest of the chicken that you have. Look at that. Listen to the crunch. Wow, that's amazing. So what's the verdict? Well, you can never go wrong with the authentic version, which is just super delicious. The Bangladeshi inspired one was just out of this world. It was super flavorful, super crispy, and even my grandparents preferred it to the original, which is saying something. The pesto marinade I like to make again and tweak a few things. I think the execution on my part was poor, because I still think it can be a really delicious fried chicken. So number 1 would be the Bangladeshi inspired one, number 2 would be the authentic one, and number 3 would be the pesto marinade. Not to say that they all weren't delicious, because they were. If you enjoyed this video and have any more ideas on what authentic Japanese food I should put a twist on next, then please drop a comment below. I really enjoy making these videos and they're a lot of fun to, I guess, put a fusion twist on it. I'm always open for suggestions, and I'll see you soon. There was a song that went like, これくらいのお弁当箱におにぎりちょいと詰めて makes me cringe a little bit, not gonna lie.